team T20. Let's get it, baby.
Hello, hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, Addison?
How's it going, Christopher?
Yeah. Nice to meet you, my man.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too.
How you been, bro? How's your day going today?
It's going alright. Going pretty okay. Yeah. I gotta finish up some stuff later. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Any midterms or anything like that coming up?
I got midterms next week. Yeah, so I'll be studying this weekend.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I saw that. For what classes specifically?
CSE 150, which is operating systems, and then CSE 179, which is intro to parallel computing.
Okay. Yeah, so those are like all upper divs then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, good luck with that, man. I mean, me personally, I'm not too good with like Python or like C++, things like that. But I took last semester I took ME21, and it was like intro to like Python and like some other stuff. But I'm not like that. Like I say, like I don't know. Like when it comes to like computing things like that, I'm not your man. But no, yeah. I mean, nice to finally meet you. My name is Christopher Castañeda. I'm a second year here at UC Merced. What year are you?
I'm third year.
Oh, you're third year. Okay, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know I invited you to the workshop yesterday. I know you weren't able to come, unfortunately. It was really nice. My business coach was actually on campus. It's like something he usually never does. But he actually came out here. He drove out here like 3 hours, and he did a little workshop. But yeah, I mean, nice to meet you. I'm kind of curious. I mean, I was looking at your LinkedIn, and I mean, I saw that you're a CSE major. Yeah, and I mean, you're interested in business. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm kind of just curious. What made you want to like respond to my message? Like, what interested you?
I just thought, I don't know, it was just interesting to see someone like reach out about business opportunities. Recently, I've like kind of, I've taken some roles. I forgot to put them on LinkedIn. I haven't put them yet, but I'm like an officer for SACE, which is the Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers, and
Okay.
I'm like a full stack lead at Unifoodie. It's like the startup.
Oh
company
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of
With
thing.
what's his name
Yeah.
again? He's a friend of mine. What's his name?
Anthony, Hurd?
Yeah, Anthony Hurd. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a really cool guy.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting to like expand my knowledge on like that realm, especially for Unifoodie. I think it would be helpful to navigate like the venture capitalist world and whatnot. I was looking at things like Y Combinator and like startup accelerators to try and see. I think it'd be interesting to expand my business repertoire to kind of help out with that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's awesome. You said you have your own business?
I do not. I don't know
Oh.
where it says this.
Oh no. Sorry, I might have just misheard you. I thought you said my business right now. But
Oh no. Yeah.
no, you're good. But no, yeah. I mean, that's cool. I just wanted to kind of, like ask that one question. But no, I mean, yeah. I mean, I can kind of, introduce myself a little bit more so you can, get to know who I am. Because I mean, if I'm being completely honest, yeah, I may appear sharp with like the way I'm speaking. Like might sound nice. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I mean, a year ago, I was not this person. I was someone who'd go out party. I was drinking. I was smoking. Just hanging around a very negative association. And yeah, I mean, it just wasn't really, adding up, because I came here for college. I came here for a degree. And, I was just going out having fun, not really caring. And yeah, I always said, like, I always had this vision of what I wanted to do in my future, but I never really did it. I would just say it, but I wouldn't act on it. And so, something that really impacted me, like actually when my coach told me, Christopher, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with. And when I, took a moment to, really think about that, I thought about the 5 people I would hang around with my freshman year. And I'm like, man, I asked them, hey, what do you want to do after college? I don't even know. I'm just trying to finish this semester. Hey, what are you trying to do? Oh, I'm just focused on this midterm, but I don't even know. Most of my friends did not know what they wanted to do after college. Like they had no plan, they had no goals, they had no values. They just wanted to smoke, go party, and drink. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Maybe we were late and maybe like in smoking, but not really in like life goals and like future goals. And that's something I've always I've had. But if I kind of go more in depth about it, if I'm being completely honest with you, I didn't want to come to college. Like college wasn't even like in the picture for me when I was 15 years old. I was just going to school, going to high school just to do it, and I just really wanted to be like my brother, my older brother. I saw him working two jobs right out of high school. Got a nice BMW, and what really hit me though is he would just drive his BMW, to and from work. So he wouldn't really enjoy
Yeah.
it. So he'd, work in the graveyard, work, all day, and then boom, he would just go to sleep and then do the same thing exactly tomorrow. So I'm like, I don't want that lifestyle. So
Mhm.
I'd say, in high school, I would just, hang around, like, again, just like my first year. Very negative association, ended me in juvenile hall. I was in there for a few days. And because of, all those things I was kind of going through at such a young age, I had all this responsibility. None of my friends had a job at 15 years old. So they didn't really, they couldn't really relate with me. They're like, they're just having fun, going out, doing stuff. I'm over here on the other hand, with an ankle monitor working and, having to be home at a certain time. So it was like, something that, I tell a lot of people, that, maturity doesn't come with age, but it comes with responsibility. So I feel like I matured, at a very young age because of all the responsibility I had, working, helping my family, and then just, paying back, for, what I did, obviously, when I was only 15 years old. But, yeah, I mean, because of that, I've been working for like the past 5 years. And, I've just been trying to, surround myself with, positive people. And, my mom saw that, my mom saw that, Christopher, I know you're a good kid, but the people you hang around with aren't the best, and that's because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be cool. I'd sag my pants the way I talked. I would cuss a lot, things like that, and I would just do that just to fit in, just to feel like oh, I have friends. But I realized that no, no, they're not really gonna be there for you. Like let's say when things go bad. Just when things are nice. But yeah, so my mom actually she switched me school districts and she enrolled me in Avid. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that or not.
Maybe I no, I'm not entirely sure.
It's more of like a Bay Area type of thing. Are you from the Bay Area or are you from?
Yeah, yeah. It's like I think it's like the help like for focusing or something. It's like a little. It's part of a school. It's like a different. It's a school program, I think.
No, yeah, yeah. So it's like a college career readiness type of class, and
Okay, yeah.
that's something that my cousin was doing. But my mom saw my cousin; she was doing really good. She said, "Oh, you should do that." So I started. I went to Avid from like my junior year to my senior year, and that teacher there, she saw something in me that I couldn't even see in myself. She's like, "Christopher, you're really extroverted. You're very outgoing. I think you should apply to college." And I was like, I don't really want to. She's like, oh, but like, like you should, like there's a lot of opportunities. And she's like, it's not about so much about what it's about who you know. And that's because I would put myself down. Like, I have a low GPA, no schools gonna accept me, why should I even try? And so I applied to colleges, CSUs. They accepted me. Unfortunately, the finances just weren't there for my family. Since I come from like, an immigrant background, my family is just, very like low income. And so I was like, as much as I want to go, my family can't really help me. And if I go to college, I need either like financial aid or, I'm going to be working to cover it. And so she's like, you should apply to UCs. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I did not want to write those 4 essays. That was the only thing stopping me. Those essays, I was like, man, like I do not want to write those. But I did it anyways. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's do it. I got rejected at all UCs besides UC Merced. And so I ended up coming here.
Yeah.
They had the best financial aid package. I'm like, all right, you know what? I can work a part-time job. I can be here in UC Merced. My parents don't have to, worry about me financially, so I should be good over here. So I started doing that. That was kind of how I got here. But like I told you, I was just negative association, smoking, drinking, partying. So I've actually been sober for like the past 235 days now. From that association, just disassociating myself from them. Why? Because I have this different mindset. I got connected with actually my business partner. I like to introduce him to. His name is Tona, and he's actually the one who actually introduced the business opportunity to me. And just how we're sitting down right now. I met with him just like this, and he helped me get started. And just through the selection process, I ended up going through it. It took me some time, maybe like 2 months. Took my coach 2 weeks. So she really saw the value in it. It took me some time to see the value. I was working full time. I was smoking, doing stuff like that, and then taking summer classes and just really kind of all over the place. But yeah, I mean, that's a little bit about me. I mean, can you share a little bit about yourself, Addison?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm the computer science engineering major. I have kind of always just had a goal in mind since before coming to college. Basically, just become like a software engineer and then, work at a big tech company and whatnot. And I think that is still it's still a goal for me. It's still what I like try to do. However, in like such a competitive market, I feel like it's pretty difficult to even stand out from much of the crowd.
Yeah.
It's making me like pivot kind of a little bit my projects and stuff. I typically do a lot of like CS projects kind of around. Um, yeah, I just kind of make stuff, and I really enjoy like just that process of creating, because I find it to be like kind of a creative thing. Creating something is always like something I just enjoy doing. It's like a fun like outlet for me. But I've always like definitely struggled with like marketing my stuff and kind of getting really into the business side of things. I think when you reached out to me, I thought like this could be a great opportunity to have someone that knows that knowledge that I could work with if I had any ideas in the future, or if I wanted like any help with insight on this Unifoodie stuff that I'm working on. How like maybe it could help with like customers, or like how we could more appropriately approach marketing and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, kind of like very similar to like I had my plan of what I wanted to do. So that really resonates with me. My first year, I had this plan of what I wanted to do. I wanted to work for like this, like a nice like financial firm. And I'd say my initial idea, was actually, like, yeah, working there for a few years and, kind of, trying to, I'd say copy their firm, like copy like what they were doing and, try to start my own. Because why? Because I always had this mindset of, wanting to be my own boss, wanting to, not have to work for my.
Me too. Yeah.
Exactly.
I've always said that. Yeah.
Not work for someone else. Why? Because, growing up, I saw my dad, my mom, they were always working a job. They were never their own boss. So I saw, they were like a slave to their job. Not literally, but I mean, if there wasn't, like if they didn't work, then there wouldn't be food on the table. There wouldn't be a roof. So it was like, growing up a lot, without my parents really in the picture, just me and my brother, and like babysitter stuff like that. But I say, that's what made me really like ambitious. Like I'm not sure if where you went to high school, middle school, but I mean, I was always that kid with like the backpack and like selling Gatorades and like chips and stuff. Yeah, so like that was me back then. Like I was hustling like any way I could try to like try to make money. Like I would try to hop on that. Like any trend that was going on, fidget spinners, I would try to sell those too. Like those little bracelet rainbow loom things. I bought a little kit just to make those, just to sell them. So like pretty much whenever it came to like making money, I always try to think outside the box, because I knew my parents couldn't really help me, support me financially. So I'd always try to think of ways to try to like make money, and not ask my parents. But yeah, no, I mean that's awesome. I know you said that you've always kind of wanted to like be your own boss. What's kind of like made you like think that way?
It's actually my dad, because I'm pretty well off financially, but my dad has always kind of instilled that kind of hustler mentality into me. He's kind of always said like, because he has his own law firm, and he's always being like, you should be your own boss. Don't working for another person is very taxing. You always have to listen to them. It's just much better to be your own boss, to have your own thing, to have your own clients. And I've always had that like mindset growing up, and I didn't put it too much into action until more of college, because I was more focused on like just school and studying and stuff. But I think I definitely like am closer to the age where I want to like more realize like, I like maybe like a startup or something. Like I'll do my own product and well, yeah.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, you say your dad owns a law firm. What law firm does he own?
It's his own. It's Jeff Chen Law. He's recently. He recently works right now for Grub Market. It's like it's like a startup thing. But yeah, for most of my life, he has worked. Actually, yeah, up until high school, up until like I went to college, he worked for his own law firm. And he's kind of always like, reiterated, be your own boss.
No, yeah, and that's awesome. I mean, I feel like like that's like a great example, like to look up to, and that's really nice of your dad actually, to like actually tell you that hey, you should be your own boss.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I had that growing up, because for me it was just like from like at least from my parents, it just go to school, get a job, go to work. So like when I started, starting my own business, they're like, hey, what are you doing? Like, you're gonna not focus on school. Like, that's something, it's gonna like distract you. It's gonna take too much of your time. You shouldn't do it. But, because of that, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna show my mom that I can do business and I can still get good grades in school. So I've been doing that, for like the past 8 to 9 months. But no, yeah, that's actually really nice, to hear that, your dad's been, trying to help you with that. Kind of just like a random question. Do you read at all? Or like, do you do any like type of like personal development?
I have in the past. It's a little more difficult right now. I'm kind of juggling a bunch of things, so it's difficult to find free time to read. But I have when I have more time.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. No, yeah, I mean, I was kind of just curious. I mean, your dad sounds like someone who's really educated. So I feel like maybe he'd be like, oh, here, read this book or something like that. But no, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'd say for this meeting, I kind of just want to get to know you a little bit more. See if our goals, if our values align. So we're not gonna talk, I'd say, too much about the business. I kind of just want to get to know you more. You can get to know me. Why? Because it's our first time meeting, and I know I know we go to the same school, but I mean, I don't think I've seen you on campus. But if I have, then maybe I just walked past you. But I mean, now I have a face, to put it on to. But yeah, so I mean, if I see you, I can say what's up too. But yeah, I mean, I actually wanted to introduce you, to my business partner, Tona. Let's see if he's here. Yeah, he's someone who's helped me a lot, actually, I'd say, throughout my process and helping me scale up my business.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going?
How's it going? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Addison?
Yes.
Nice to
Tona?
meet you. Yeah, Tona. Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Yes.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. How do you and Chris know each other?
He reached out to me on LinkedIn, and I was just like, you know what? Let's set up a time to meet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I imagine you're looking for business, right? Are you a business major?
Well, I'm not really a business major, but I'm looking more to expand my skills in that area. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So are you at UC Merced over there with?
Yeah, I'm at UC Merced.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what are you studying over there?
Computer science, engineering.
Computer science. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you kind of want to venture more into the business field, get some of those skills, right? What year are you in?
Third year.
30. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I know what the job market is over there. And not just here. I mean, I'm not from Merced. I'm from San Jose. So I'm up in the Bay Area. Are you originally from like the Merced area?
No, I'm from like the Bay Area.
Oh, really? What part?
It's like near Walnut Creek-ish.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of far up. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
San Jose. All right, I see. Yeah. So I imagine you and Chris, talked a little bit. And so I asked, if you were looking for business. So how does that kind of relate with, your plan as a computer science major?
I kind of expand skills in business, or kind of like find business people that I can help, like for connections, for in case like maybe I in the future kind of want to do a startup, or thinking because right now I'm a lead for I'm the full stack lead for Unifoodie. It's like the startup near Merced. It's started by UC Merced students, and we're kind of like really just trying to get our footing. And I think it would be helpful and integral to get like you have customer bases and how to scale up like your products to be maybe more monetizable, or like how to attract more customers, how to just how to operate a business, and then how I can apply that to like coding the infrastructure of our system.
I see. Yeah. So what kind of things are you guys working on then? You said it's not
the product is mostly, it's like a table that like people use apps to, or they can put leftover food that's like not touched and stuff. They put it there, and then anyone around can come pick it up. So it's to reduce food waste a lot. And so I think many factors like how many, or like what should the radius be of this? How do I most optimally like attract like the most amount of people around for, you know, however many tables you have and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I see it's kind of like that startup thing. It's kind of starting
Yeah.
around small business.
Mhm.
And how's it been going for you guys?
I think it's going good. Yeah, it's going fine right now. It's just, you know, since we're all students, it's probably a little slower because we're all also managing midterms and classes and whatnot. So,
Yeah, I can imagine, and you know everything that goes into building a business,
yeah.
especially an S quadrant business, like
Yeah.
a lot of capital, a lot of time investment, and you know personally, all of that not for me. You know, which is why you know when I started my business when I was 18 years old in my first year of college, um, it wasn't so much that about our business model that impressed me, but it was the mentorship because I feel like that's the biggest reason why most small businesses, like you were telling me about, actually fail. Why most people, regardless of what they do, like for me, I was big on day trading. I don't know if you're familiar with like the stock market, you know, investing, things like that. I was big on doing that. I was doing drop shipping. I started a clothing brand. And I feel like all of those things, all of these little side hustles are the reason why, you know, guidance, lack of guidance is the reason why they end up failing. So I want to ask you when it comes to scaling up your business, who or like planning out how it can align with your goals in the future, who is the person you go to? Who do you seek for
Oh,
advice?
it's typically, I don't actually really have one right now. Maybe Evan Lee. I don't know. Do you guys know Evan Lee?
Evan Lee.
Maybe Christopher knows.
Evan.
Evan Lee.
He kind of sounds.
I think.
Is that a professor?
No.
No,
Oh, it's just my friend.
your
But
friend?
he's like
Maybe.
the president. I don't really have anyone for that guidance right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
No,
I think
I
I was
can.
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially what I wanted to see is did you have any experience before when it comes to mentorship? And you know, who is it that you go to when it comes to not just seeking advice about business, but your future, your finances, right? Like who is the person you go to for that?
Oh, probably just my parents right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just ask them how they manage their money and stuff.
And I feel like the reason, you know, most people don't succeed with anything is because they don't have any. Let me ask you, what do your parents do?
My dad's a lawyer, and then my mom kind of manages property. Yeah, that's pretty much what they do.
Okay, yeah. So they're not the ones kind of helping you, you know, grow your business, scale your business. Um, like what are some of the things you love about their life? Would you want to do what they want to do?
Maybe managing property is fine as like a side thing.
Right.
I would not really want to be a lawyer. That's kind of a big headache. But I think just I look to them for advice, so like how to spend your money. If there's like cheaper alternatives to certain products or whatnot, just things like that.
Okay, yeah. Because I just want to get a little bit of a reference point, you know, from people that I talk to about what exactly their expectation is or what exactly their standard is of mentorship. Because for me, I have a high standard on who I call my mentor because like most people, I didn't have any, right? When I did day trading, all I watched was those YouTube videos and thought about buying a course, but it's not fun, right? Not something I want to do. And the person I went to was my dad. He wasn't like, you know, a lawyer or anything. He wasn't, you know, a huge investor. He lives paycheck to paycheck. Right? He works in construction. He's a handyman. He's a laborer. And he's the person I went to because, like, he's my dad. He's the only one I had, right? But I realized he's not qualified to give me advice about my future. And it sounds harsh, but the reason I say that is because all he can teach me is how to be an employee.
Yeah.
That's not what I want, right?
Yeah.
I could get a better job, right? I speak good English.
Yeah.
I'm going to school, I'm getting a degree. I can still get a good job, get a lot of money. But besides the money, what's next?
Yeah.
Because for me, success is not just the money, it's the freedom, it's the time. And all I see is my parents aren't able to spend time with me. because they're at work. My parents come home tired every single day because they're at work. And when I saw that, I knew that the employee lifestyle was not what I wanted. So when I met my mentor, has Chris told you anything about our mentor?
No.
Okay, yeah. So this is the guy who I met him through our business coach, me and Chris's business coach. She was the one that introduced us to our mentor. And once we earned his trust, his mentorship, he was the one that helped us start and scale up our business. And the reason I call him my mentor, the standard that I have for a mentor, the number one thing, obviously aside from ethics and morals, obviously that's the most important, but the number one thing that I look for is, do they have what I'm looking for? Do they have what I want? And what I mean by that is far more than just the money, but do they have the lifestyle that I want?
Yeah.
When I first met him, I met him at a big business conference in SoCal. I heard his story about how he was able to retire himself at 22 years old. I was like, wow, right? Pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the craziest part was that he came just like my parents. No money, no English. He was from Vietnam, though. So he came from, like, I'm not sure, Vietnam, that's somewhere South Asia, right?
Yeah, somewhere there.
Yes,
Yeah.
South Asia, yeah. So he came from Vietnam, but same like my parents, no money, no English. He was financially free. My parents are still living paycheck to paycheck. He was able to retire his dad the next year at 23, retire his mom at 24, and then sponsor them to come to this country. I was like, wow, that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. That's how I knew this guy, I wanted to learn what he did. I wanted his mentorship. But I'm kind of like an overthinker. So obviously I was impressed, but my main concern was I was skeptical. Like, okay, wait a minute. If you were able, like, think about it. Do you know anyone that retired that young?
Nah.
No, I don't either. I've never even heard of someone close. So when I heard that from my mentor, I thought he was a scammer. I wanted to know, right? Can you blame me for thinking like that? Just like,
nah, I would not. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
But because I went to that seminar in person, far ago when it happened, I had the chance to talk to him for the first time, one-on-one. My coach, she had personal connections with him, so she helped me sneak around backstage to talk to him. Because when he comes off the stage, everyone crowds around him. They all want to talk to him. But it's hard to get a question in. But I had that one-on-one chance. And I asked him exactly what those two questions that I said, I kind of merged them into one. I was like, Phil, his name's Phil, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. I was like, Phil, I saw the results you created with your business. I respect the success that you have, but I need to be clear with you. I need to know that as long as what you're doing is legal, as long as what you're doing is ethical, those are two big things for me. Can you teach me? Can I learn from you? Can you be my mentor? Can you show me what you did? And you want to know what he told me? He was like, okay, Tona, many people ask me that same question every single event. My question to you is, what makes you different from everybody else? And think about it. In a room full of professionals, what makes a college student different? Let's say in a job interview, what makes a candidate different, right? It's hard. Because what most people have the mindset, well, for me at least, what I said to him was, I tried showing him my resume, right? I tried showing him my grade. I was in my first year in college. He saw Dunkin' Donuts and Taco Bell, thinking I was going to impress him. But he told me straight up that that's not what we were looking for, that your resume tells them nothing about me. And it's true because, for example, right now I work for Meta. I work in sales for them. People look at that and they're like, wow, this guy's working at Meta. You know what it doesn't say on my resume? That sometimes I might call out the day of, I'll call out. And sometimes I might come a little late. I got stuck. I woke up late, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that doesn't show on my resume. I'm glad it doesn't, right? I'm glad people see that. But what my mentor showed me was it only says so much about you. So when I asked him what it was that he was looking for in a mentee, how I could separate myself from everybody else, he told me what it was. That what he looked for in a business partner was someone with character, someone with integrity, someone with accountability, if their actions match what they say. Someone with transparency, good communication, someone with an ambition, vision, right? These are the things that matter to him. And I mean, if you put yourself in his shoes, what would you want in a mentee, right? Because in reality, mentorship out there, like I said, with my experience in day trading, they're going to charge you for a course, right? That's the true expectation of what mentorship out there. The truth is why should somebody successful? What incentive do they have to help you? So it made sense to me how our business model kind of relates with that. So what he did, I think I don't know if Chris mentioned it a little bit earlier about our selection process, where we take the chance to get to know somebody and evaluate someone to see, is this someone I should share about my business with? Is this someone I should connect to my mentor? Because we met like a few minutes ago, right? I don't know how long you know Chris for, but we still don't know each other pretty well, right? And it's obviously something you want to see for yourself. Like, who is this Tona guy coming from San Jose, right? This guy's a little bit, suspicious. You should question that, right? You should evaluate Chris. You should evaluate my coach, my mentor, our business model, everything that we show you before you actually decide on something, right? It's obviously something you need to take a look at. Because, I hear it all the time from business partners. Like I said, I did day trading, drop shipping, and then a clothing brand. I had business partners back then, but what I saw is that slowly, one quit, one left, one decided to go into something else, one just stopped responding. So I had to increase my standard in what I look for in a business partner. So it doesn't faze me when somebody tells me that they're serious about building a business, they're serious about making passive income, or that they're serious about giving back to their family. It doesn't matter to me because I want to see their actions. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like it should be that way for everyone. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody can talk, but not everybody can do the walk. So that's essentially the reason why we have a selection process. You've kind of noticed that so far we haven't really talked so much about what exactly our business model is, how it works, and how it can align with your goals. But yeah, that's pretty much our process, and a little bit about me. But I kind of wanted to hear more about what you were looking for, because, like I said, I talked to a lot of people about business, about mentorship, and I love every opportunity because getting a chance to talk to somebody like-minded who's willing to put all those things aside, the drinking, the partying, the smoking, to talk about something that's serious, I respect that. So what is it for you, right? I can't imagine you want to live that 9-to-5 lifestyle as an engineer or whatever you plan on pursuing. It doesn't speak to me. I don't know who it would speak to, getting stuck at work for the rest of your life. So why? What makes you want more?
Yeah, just that drive to have your own thing, to not have to listen to someone else. Just be your own boss mentality. That's probably one of the biggest things why I would want to do like a startup or, have something that is really my own, like my own vision, my own, just everything me,
Yeah, okay. Can I ask, do your parents pay a lot, for your tuition, your school? Would you say they provide a lot for you? Yeah, I talk to a lot of people similar like that, and some of them are okay with that. Right? They're okay with that type of lifestyle. And then what I see from the second type of people is, like you, they want something for themselves. Because, like I said before, after the money, what's next? Because for me, what a successful life would mean for me is not just money, but time. Money, time, and peace of mind. That's what I want. If you ask me why I'm building a business, why I started my business at 18 and continuing to just put time and effort into it, it's because I want the lifestyle of a business owner so bad. I want it so bad. That's why I majored in business. I actually study in finance right now. That was before I realized, right? It's a bunch of teachers teaching you business. It's not business owners. It's an employee wanting to teach you business. So that never, stuck out to me. But it was the mentorship. Because like I said, I feel like at one point, everybody dreams big. Everybody wants the freedom. Everybody wants the luxurious life. For me, I would love to spend every minute of my life with my family. My mom, my dad, they've done so much. They worked so hard. I want to buy them $1 million home and retire myself so I can spend more than 2 weeks with them at that home and retire them so they have no responsibilities and can be there. I want to buy myself that red Ferrari, to drive it anywhere, not just have it parked, at the job site. You know what I mean? So it's always in my mind, and I feel like the reason for that is, like I said, because of mentorship. I see it every day. What I'm used to seeing is my mom, my dad come home tired, and right, that motivates me to get out of bed. But what motivates me even more is seeing my mentor's lifestyle. He has a house here in San Jose, and this is the type of guy who wakes up at like 5 p.m. and the first thing he does is play with his 2 cats. Like, wow. And that's pretty funny. But it's true. That's how I want to live. One time he wanted a ride to the airport. He posted on the group chat his ticket, and I was the first one to drive over there and ask, Phil, do you need a ride? Everyone came after. I'm like, nah, I got there first. I got to spend an hour to talk with him while driving to the airport. And at the end, I'm like, Phil, where are your bags? I didn't see you pack them. He didn't bring anything because, he buys everything when he gets there. And these are just little reminders to me of how grateful I am. And not just that. Now, again, it's more than the money, because I see him with his fiance building their business together, actively impacting people, not just here in San Jose or in Merced, but in Canada, in Texas, in Pennsylvania, wherever they have business. And when I see them, speak on the stage and everybody cheering for them, I realize that these are the values that just the normal 9-to-5 lifestyle will not give. I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave an impact on this world. And if I went into being a CPA, which is what I wanted to do, what impact would I have? What legacy can I leave? You spend time counting other people's money, not my own money. Right? So that's not what I want. And the reason, we talk about all that is because, you may know from your small business is that it's building a long-term asset takes time. Building a sustainable asset takes a lot of time, effort, investment. It's not easy. And that's definitely the biggest reason why most people fail, because somewhere along the way, they went through all the downs and couldn't recover. Couldn't, get back up on their feet, couldn't, bounce back. And I feel like, the reason for that is because people forget the motivation. People, like I said, people don't have that reminder. And it's when people decide to settle down. So I really respect that you're someone that wants to build something for yourself. I just want to know what does that kind of look like? People ask you all the time, I'm sure, what you want to do. I don't care about that. I want to know, how do you want to live your life? Let's say 10, 15 years ahead.
I think definitely like similar to what you were just saying. It'd be very nice to have the luxury and the freedom to not worry about responsibilities of a job and like having to tirelessly work for another person. Yeah, no, I definitely would like that, enjoy that lifestyle. And I think for a startup, I mostly just thought of maybe it's a product I create and then just have it be scalable and have, a network of people help like that product reach as many people as possible. Kind of like, the new a Google or a Netflix or whatever, create a product that reaches out and have the business be the fundamental block to reaching out and expanding as much as possible.
Okay, yeah, I see. So with your current startup, your career, do you think you're on track to get that lifestyle that you dream of?
not entirely sure. I think it's hard to say. I'm still mostly thinking more about juggling all the things that I'm doing throughout the day. So it's hard to say. I think I'm fairly there, but it is hard to say with certainty.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like, it's pretty clear to know when someone, is on track. The one thing I ask them is, show me your plan. That's it. That's all I need to know to see if someone's on track. Because in reality, nobody is. For people who are just going to school, they are on track to work for the rest of their lives. For me, on track, I'm still I'm working to work for the rest of my life, right? And financial, like it's people. I see that people pick their vehicle before they pick their destination, right? Because the reason like I said, decided to major in business was because I understood that was the life that I wanted to live. I understood that being a business owner is the only one that'll get me all of that. Found out that they don't teach you business. Found a mentor. Started my own business, doing the same thing, and it's hard to say when people are on track. Everyone I see people always pick the major that gives them the most money, that gives them the most capital, but in reality, it's not really getting you anywhere. But the reason I wanted to share that was because let me see. I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Yeah. Anyways, no. We'll just stop talking about that. But yeah, I wanted to ask you at this point. Did you have any questions? Any thoughts on your mind right now?
Not particularly.
Because I wanted to know more about how you plan to scale up your business. Because I understand that's one of the most difficult aspects when it comes to business growth. Anybody can start a small business, but the question is, do you want to be the first one in and the last one out? And for how long? Scalability is one of the hardest parts about a business. So I wanted to ask, how did you plan on doing that with your type of product?
The only thing I really thought of is kind of reducing costs of materials. I'm kind of unsure how to really start. I think I really was just looking for people connections to get advice from or these certain things. What is there ways to reduce costs for a product, or is there ways to make it more user friendly and whatnot? I wasn't too keen on I'm not sure. I'm really just looking for someone for that advice that I could reach out to when I need it and be like, hey, I'm thinking about kind of scaling up. What do you think I should think about when doing that? What do you think? Our product is good now, but now I want to reach as many people. What do you think would be a good method to do that?
Well, yeah, I mean, scaling up an S-Quadrant business is one of the hardest things, people can. That's why only a few franchises actually, kind of make it out. But when it comes to our mentorship, it comes with, building with our business, building in our type of business model, which is e-commerce and franchising. And then people can see how building something like that on the side can help with their ultimate goal, which could be expanding their own startup, right? Expanding something else, having more capital, more freedom to be able to do something like that. So I'm not sure, have you kind of thought how about, an opportunity on the side can help with your business?
Not really. Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what our selection process is, because when it comes to our mentorship, like I said, we only partner with serious, business partners, people who are actually looking to build, our type of asset, and eventually it can be the one that can help align with your goals and your priorities and your future. So do you kind of understand? Has Chris explained to you a little bit about like the basics of our business model?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think.
uh-huh.
Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was yeah. You can go ahead.
I think maybe actually, I think I might not be. I think someone higher up would be a better person to talk to about expanding business. I think for our startup, I think I could refer you guys to someone like I think Anthony or the CEO of our startup, and then I think he has more of an idea of like
I mean, the thing
how to
is,
expand the business.
I'm not looking for a startup.
Oh, okay.
Right? No, because I see that you're a lot more focused on the S quadrant side of business, where I'm focused on the B side, which is
Okay.
big business.
Okay.
So do you kind of understand? Do you understand like the cash flow quadrants?
Not entirely.
Yeah, so it's kind of a concept where essentially what's the difference between small business and big business? What do you think? Something like McDonald's compared to a small burger shack.
Just expansion, marketing. I'm not entirely sure.
It's because McDonald's didn't so much focus on their product, but they focused on building a system. And that's the key when it comes to expanding and scaling up a business. Because if it's something that's so complicated, if only one person can make that burger that's better than McDonald's, then it'll be impossible for you to scale it up. Take a long time. But if you look at McDonald's, their burger is very cheap. Do you think they make a good burger?
It's sometimes.
Oh, right. Definitely not the best, though.
Yeah.
It's easy to make. But because of that, and because of people are buying it, that's how it's easy for them to open another store and make it the exact same. That's how you scale up a business. It's the simplicity. It needs to be simple and it needs to work. That's the two criteria, on how to easily scale up a business. So when it comes to let's say you're a startup, you come up with an original idea, it might be kind of hard for you to replicate that, to duplicate. So what we're focused on is building, a system, building a foundation of our business, kind of similar like how our mentor did, in a sense of what we're running e-commerce platforms and helping people expand their network and revenue by partnering with a supplier network. It's pretty simple, right? That's kind of what we do, how to scale up a business. And we understand, it takes time, but the reason we're so confident is because I'm learning from someone who already did it. I don't need to talk to your friend, right? Because I have someone who's financially free. And again, it all circles around to, how important mentorship is. I mean, I'm not someone who is usually carrying themselves so professionally until my mentor pushed me to. And, it was those soft skills that improved my communication, improved the way that I present myself, improved the way I present myself in a job interview. It's how I got my job in sales, right? So I really, think you should think a little bit more about, what quality mentorship you're getting, because if you're actually looking for something, I think this is where we can help out. In the sense that our mentorship, it's 360-degree mentorship, which means, every aspect of your life is something we can help out with as long as you're building our type of business. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if you're curious more about how our business model can align with your goals, you should stay in touch with Christopher. I think he has some material he can send out for you, our mentor. He makes a lot of material, different audios and podcasts that teach about the entrepreneurial mindset, that teach about financial literacy. And, it really, gets to see someone's mindset or are they built like an employee or actually like an entrepreneur? So I want, Chris, you can send him one of his videos.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want you to see what my mentor talked about, but most importantly, I want you to see my mentor. I want you to see the guy he is, the person I'm talking about. I told you I have a high standard on who I follow. I don't just follow anybody. So this is the guy that I'm fully submitted to. And I want you to see that because I always like to compare it to other reference points I have out there. Not just, what he has, but how he presents himself. Mm-hmm. So I think, Chris, you can send him that video, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you think you can make like an hour or so to watch that video to see if this is something you're looking for?
Something.
What was that?
Sure thing.
Okay. Yeah. So Chris, you can go ahead and send the video. And whenever you finished it, you can reach back out and we can find a time to meet up again if you're actually, serious in learning about what our business does and how it can align with yours.
Sure. No, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure then, yeah. I mean, thank you, Tony, for coming into the meeting, getting to meet Addison. And I mean, it was a pleasure meeting you too, Addison. I can definitely send you the video. I actually wanted to ask, is there a better way we can stay in contact? I do check my LinkedIn, but like not so much.
I think you could use. I think LinkedIn is okay for now. I think. Do you prefer a different method?
Usually I just prefer phone number just because I could just check it like really quickly, like text messages.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can send you mine real quick.
Yeah, you can send it to me through the chat or through LinkedIn. I mean, however you feel more comfortable. For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And I can send you the video there to your phone number. And I mean, it's gonna kind of talk a little bit more about entrepreneurship. See if it's for you, and you're gonna actually get to see our mentor, get to see who he is, how he carries himself like that. But it was great, meeting you today, and this pretty much concludes our meeting today.
Yeah, well, great to meet you too. Yeah. Thank you so much for the time. I'll definitely reach out.
For sure then, right then. You guys have a good rest of your day, right?
Thank you. You too.
Have a good one.